You know, when there's a political race where one of the candidates has a long record in politics and the other doesn't, voters are often left saying that they just don't have enough knowledge of the candidate that hasn't spent time in political office. So help these voters out. Can you give us briefly 3 very specific things that you would initiate if you were elected governor right from the beginning?
Sure. The first would be around education. And this is a big area, so it's
as specific as possible.
Specifics possible. And these are certainly ones that are in contrast to Governor Walker's approach. First and foremost, the statewide voucher expansion. So this is statewide outside of Milwaukee. This is where the voucher program is going statewide. Is I would work, one, to stop any expansion of that. It's draining resources from our public schools, and it does not improve student learning. And so I would stop the expansion of it, and if possible, I would turn it back. I think it's one of the biggest issues facing our state, and it threatens public education that serves 900,000 students in the state without any plan on how to pay for it, and no research that shows that it actually improves student learning. And I feel public education is the foundation of our economy. It's the thread or the fabric around so many of our communities, particularly when you get to the rural areas of the state. And what they have seen over the Walker administration are continued cuts to the funding. So going with a statewide expansion just continues to threaten the funding and the livelihood of those schools and being able to provide a great public education for students across the state. So the statewide expansion of vouchers is an issue. As long as I'm on vouchers, I will also add, as the same point, is accountability around the Milwaukee voucher program.
Or you'd want to roll back the statewide expansion.
Yeah.
But I want to be clear about what you think about the Milwaukee program.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's been more helpful or more harmful to public education?
I'm accepting the landscape as it is.
But has it worked? Has it helped improve education in Milwaukee?
The research shows that that students in the voucher programs actually perform no better than the Milwaukee public school students. So it's hard to see evidence that says that it's getting the job done and that it has improved things. The thing is, you can't necessarily go back and say what if and have that same research.
Well, you could roll it back.
Those are battles. You know what? I want to focus my energy on actually moving forward and not fighting the old battles, because I think that when you look at the schools, vouchers and charters and MPS schools, you can find good models in each one of those 3. You can also find a lot that aren't working. It's going to be tough work. I mean, I know this from the work that I've done in education over the last 6 years in particular, is that it's not easy work, but we have to take it on. It's so important to our state. It's so important to the Milwaukee community and our economy here. And I look forward to taking these challenges on because what we're doing is just not acceptable right now. So we have to understand and come to an understanding that Milwaukee needs to have a strong Milwaukee public schools system. And what is that going to take? And then looking within vouchers and charters and saying, what models are there that we can build on, but what are the models that aren't working? And also, even some of the models that we hold up as successful models, if you really look at them, there's real questions about the effectiveness. And I was just on the homepage of St. Marcus Lutheran Schools, and has been touted as a great example. Well, the fact is, right on their homepage, it says that in reading scores, 80% of the students are not proficient. And it's close to that number for students who have even been there 3 to 5 years. That's not good enough. We have got to do better. We have got to understand what it takes to really take on these challenges within the schools, within the communities, and build on the models that are working. And I sat down with, the Schools That Can group. I've visited Milwaukee College Prep. This is just an issue that I look at jumping into, but not, David, not refighting the battles of the past. I'm ready to move forward.
Okay. Bernie?
I was just going to ask, even if the students don't or perform just as well as they do in the public schools, is there a virtue in giving parents a choice in terms of which schools they send their kids to?
There can be, if they're good choices. And what I'm concerned about on the state, are we talking about Milwaukee or
Sure.
statewide? In Milwaukee, it is important that parents have a neighborhood school that they feel they can send their kids to, and that it's safe, and their kids are getting a great education. Then if you have that available, and parents are feeling like that is not the best choice for them, then I think that there's room for that, for other choices. And again, I respect what the lay of the land is right now, and that there are good voucher and charter schools. But Milwaukee will not thrive without having a strong Milwaukee public school system.